Allstate wants to remind fans that mayhem is everywhere. Like when your fantasy league meets up at your house. Everything's great until the hot plate gets too hot for the tablecloth. Now your kitchen's up in smoke. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, the cost to fix this is anything but a fantasy. So switch to Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem like this. Not available in every state based on coverage selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Other realtors have vacant homes. At Pest Properties, ours come occupied and ready to invest. Looking to relocate your larvae? Try the Petrie Residence. This rustic home features thousands of crevices to squirm in through, vaulted ceilings for our wall crawlers, and an outdoor bird bath teeming with mosquito eggs. So kick up your 6 hairy legs and sign today.
Before pests move in, Terminix it. With over 95 years of experience, we'll help keep your home off the pest market. Visit Terminix.com today.
Ah yes, the magnificent Trolley Sour Bright Crawler, also known as Trollicus brightolus. The worm's captivating neon colour makes it an easy gummy prey.
Trolley!
It's a surprisingly sour, invitingly chewy, staggeringly snackable species unlike anything else found on this planet.
Eat me!
Delicious. Visit Trolley.com to shop now.
Trolley, eat me!
Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. For some time now, I was thinking about creating a mini-series called a Martial Legends, and eventually I got into it, although, it's not as I wanted because kids are at home and so on and so on, so I don't have much time to prepare this, but I wrote a script for it, and I hope that your review is going to be positive, and we'll see how it goes. If there's going to be something of interest to you, I'm going to continue and do a little bit more recording for this one. But this one's going to be based on a man whose name is synonymous with strength, discipline, and spirit of karate, and a person who is kind of who shaped my teacher's karate, my karate, and he's kind of very respected and in a way close to my heart. And I associate my karate mostly with his teaching, although with evolution through the other teachers that uncovered in the future. But the person in mention is Matsutatsu Oyama. So we're going to look at him today. And there's lots of legends, lots of myths. I'm not going to be diving deep into that one because I don't have a simply enough inside knowledge. I never met him. I met people who knew him, and there is so many opinions that I just don't want to dip into politics and kind of legends. I'm gonna put some commentary over the things that I put together, and we see what that gonna create. Masayama is the name that resonates with martial artists around the world. He was a man who not only mastered the art of karate, but also pushed its boundaries, creating a style that's as intense as it respected. Kyokushin. But who was Masayama really? What drove him to become the legendary figure we know today? The answer to these questions we need to go back to the beginning. Masayama was born as a Choi Young Oi on July 27, 1923, in a small village in Korea. Oyama's early life was anything but easy. He grew up during a time of great turmoil, first under Japanese occupation and later through the chaos of World War II. But it was in this crucible of hardship that his spirit was forged. In 1946, after the war, Oyama moved to Tokyo, Japan. Here, he met his future wife, Chiyako, a woman who would stand by him through the heights and lows of his journey. That same year, Oyama enrolled in Waseda University to study sports science. But his real education was happening outside the classroom, on the training mats where he immersed himself in a study of karate. But Oyama wasn't content with just training in a dojo. He believed in pushing the limits of human potential, and to do that, he needed isolation. In 1947, Oyama retreated to the remote mountains of Japan, where he intended to train alone for 3 years. He built a small shack on a Mount Minobu and dedicated himself to the harshest training regimen imaginable. But after 14 grueling months, his sponsor could no longer support him, and Oyama was forced to return to civilization. This is kind of one of the legends, and some people say he never been there. Some people say he been for 3 years. There's lots of unknown for it. We know that he went to the forest, but we don't know how long he actually been there. It's all kind of being reshaped, and kind of, Oyama was really good with advertising and creating that legendary image for him. Time in the mountains, though shorter than planned, was transformative. It was here that he truly began to understand the essence of karate, not just as a martial art, but as a way of life. One of his few companions during this time was a book, the Book of Five Rings, by the legendary swordman Miyamoto Musashi. This text would go on to shape much of the Oyama's philosophy. If you don't have a book, it's really interesting read. I really recommend that Five Rings. Upon his return to Tokyo, Oyama's reputation as a formidable karateka quickly grew. In 1953, he opened his first dojo, Oyama Dojo, where he began teaching what would eventually become known as Kyokushin Karate. His training was notoriously tough. Students who walked through his doors knew they were in for something unlike anything they had ever experienced. And here there is many legends that he won all the competition in that time to promote himself, to test himself. Now, I'm not sure how much of it is true. I don't know what was the competition stage at that year, so he might have well win stuff. He might have not win. I don't know, but definitely he um, managed to get himself a reputation. Oyama wasn't just training students; he was building warriors. He developed Kyokushin as Oyama wasn't just training students. He was building warriors. He developed Kyokushin as a style focused on realistic combat and breaking techniques, boards, bricks, and even live bulls. He didn't break live bulls, but he broke a horn. But again, there's many stories that it was a fakery, that the bull was really stunned because they've been hitting him with a hammer. The horn was loosened up, so it wasn't that hard, and that wasn't a bull. It was a some bull-like mixture, like an ox or something. Again, I'm not sure. That's only heard from different sources, and it's really unknown and lost to the history. Only people who've been involved that really knows. So he was demonstrating his power by knocking out bulls with his bare hands and even snapping their horns off. This feat earned him a nickname God Hand. But while his public demonstrations were awe-inspiring, it was that daily grind of his dojo that really defined Kyokushin. Oyama's philosophy was simple. Karate should be practical and its practitioners should be ready for anything. This led to the development of full contact sparring called kumite, which became a cornerstone of Kyokushin training. Injuries were common, but so was an unbreakable spirit. In 1964, Kyokushin officially became an international organization, Kyokushin Kaikan, with its headquarters in Tokyo. Oyama and his handpicked instructors began spreading Kyokushin across the globe. Today, Kyokushin Karate is practiced in over 100 countries with millions of students carrying Oyama's legacy. Later in life, Oyama faced personal and health challenges. He suffered from osteoarthritis, but despite this, he never stopped training. Even in pain, he continued to demonstrate his incredible skills, inspiring his students and followers around the world. Oyama was also a prolific writer, authoring over 80 books on karate and martial arts philosophy. Mas Oyama passed away on April 26, 1994, at the age of 70, after battling lung cancer. His death marked the end of the era, but this legacy lives on through the countless dojo students and instructors who continue to practice and teach Kyokushin karate. Oyama's life was a testament of the power of the human spirit. He once said, "The ultimate aim of karate lies not in the victory nor defeat, but in the perfection of the character of its participants." Through his journey, Mas Oyama not only perfected his art, but also left behind a legacy that continues to inspire and challenge martial artists to this day. Kyokushin means the ultimate truth. Oyama did truly inspire a lot of martial artists. The Kyokushin went its own unique route with the knockdown karate and overcoming that physical and mental barriers and pushing the boundaries of sparring as much as possible. And for those who never done knockdown karate, it's worth to try, but not in your own dojo, but go to the Kyokushin dojo or other knockdown karate dojos and try for yourself how difficult that is, and how much you have to overcome mentally to stay there and endure, because there is no option for giving up. You push and endure. And what you have to admit to Oyama, he was a great salesperson. He created a brand, huge brand around the world. He made a lot of friends, equally a huge amount of enemies, and he really upset the scene of karate at that time. If you like movies, one of the best ones is Fighter in the Wind, based loosely on Oyama's life. Of course, it's glorifying him and his abilities, but it's a great music, great scenes, great cinematography. I enjoyed it very much. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what really was Oyama's training and Oyama's feat. And, he traveled as a wrestler in States as well under a nickname. So he knew judo as well. The legacy he left, I probably wouldn't be training karate if not people inspired by Oyama. He inspired so many great fighters and so many great fighters in different arenas like kickboxing, MMA, come from Kyokushin, come from direct training with Oyama. And, he was a personality greater than life, as most of the super charismatic karate masters. And it's worth being there in a pedestal, although there's still so many people saying that Kyokushin is not real karate. I think it is to the core real karate, and I definitely feel like it's one of the most suited for me, with their approach, with the toughness, with the overcoming that mental obstacles. And hey, it really, really helped me. The knockdown karate really helped me to overcome my anxiety and my problems and mental health issues, which I wrote in my book, The Anxious Black Belt. It's still available on Amazon or from our shop. So if you haven't read it, I really recommend to grab it if you want, and then you can support our Karate for Mental Health project with the profits from that book. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will like to have a feedback from you. Should I carry on with those short clips on the masters, or maybe I should go more in depth? Drop me a message and share your thoughts on it. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.